Okay, so Ethan and I are watching Punkin Chunkin, and we tuned in and what we thought was like the actual Punkin Chunkin this year, because we watch it every year. It's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But this year, evidently, what they don't tell you on TV is that the president resigned from the Punkin Chunkin Association because they couldn't do it at some speedway up there where they've been doing it out on this farm. And they should have stayed on the farm. Where should they have stayed?
The farm.
The farm. Because then they couldn't do the air cannon. So now they're doing like rerun stuff from years ago and shooting a pumpkin into like the stupid stuff. But we got ripped off this year because I recorded it thinking we're going to get to watch Punkin Chunkin. And these guys, you know, they get out there and they do it with their hands. They make these machines and it's pretty cool to watch the competition. But there's no competition this year. It's just a bunch of hype about like years ago. And so I'm very disappointed in the Punkin Chunkin this year. What do you think, Ethan? Is it good or bad?
Bad.
It's bad. He's very crushed. My poor son is probably going to have to go to counseling over this debauchery of Punkin Chunkin. So we're going to get back to watching the rip-off of what should have been a great competition this year of chunking the pumpkins. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We're done. Hey, it's Dave from the Redneck Garage. Man, this weather sucks. It's a little bit rainy. It's drizzling right now, so there won't be any work done on the car today. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the things that I've found with this rear quarter panel repair. I got a message from one of our subscribers that said, hey, I'm really looking forward to that. Can you describe X, Y, and Z? And I wanted to just go through a little bit of the reasons why it's really difficult to do a video repair type series on repairing a quarter panel that was this badly dented. First thing that I would say is every car is going to be different, depending on how hard it was hit, where it was hit, what kind of car hit it. I mean, there's just so many variables. It's not like putting on an alternator. It's not like saying, yeah, take out these 3 bolts, take out that bolt, put that belt on. You know, it's harder than that. I'm going to get in from the rain because now it's really starting to rain hard. Okay, so I'm out of the rain. This week's supposed to be really rainy and nasty, so I doubt if I'll get a lot done on the vehicle. But I did want to talk about this quarter panel repair and why that's difficult to do a video series on, and what, you know, what the things that I've found with doing that repair. And like I was saying, that every car is different. Everything is going to depend on how it was hit, how badly it was crunched. Tools needed. I could not have done this job without a porter power. A porter power is just kind of a generic term for a hydraulic ram, basically, and attachments on it like rods, and there's some ends pieces to it. But that one piece of equipment over the years that I've used one has been invaluable. I've taken struts off with it on the front end struts, been able to compress springs. I've done all kinds of stuff with the porter power. And in this case, where we're pushing out on a fender or pushing forwards or things like that, it does work really, really well. Now, you are limited because, you know, it's not a full frame pulling machine where you can actually adjust everything. So you're kind of limited in a lot of it. Hammers and dollies, you can get a cheap set, or you can spend, you know, upwards to $500, $600. But at the Redneck Garage, I just use a cheap, inexpensive set. So those are the tools that I find that are the most needed: is a porter power, some kind of hydraulic press, ram assembly, and a good little dolly and hammer set. Now we're going to walk back out and take a look at the car, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about as far as some of the procedures that I used on this, without going into a time-lapse thing of trying to show me hitting the side of the fender, because, man, I tell you, that would just be super boring. More boring than listening to me talk right now. I just got to kind of step back and take a look at it and try to figure out in my mind where it was hit and how it got wrinkled. And then, of course, somebody's hit on it with a hammer, so it makes it a little bit harder to figure out where that happened. Well, I'm trying to keep the camera a little low because it's so windy, but I've been working on it, trying to get it pushed out, and I've got it pushed out some, right? Maybe high in some spots. I'm going to have to keep working on this back quarter. Got my porter power in the back, of course my little hammers, and we're trying to get it to look like this side a little bit closer. But when I look at it, it's kind of a flat surface, and I know I'm off a little bit. So we're going to keep working on that one side over there. I got to take this fender bumper cover off and this piece to be able to get to the bottom of that one. So I'm just going to keep working on this quarter, pushing it out. I've got the tail pushed out some, so it's getting better. Wow. Put the bumper cover on to see if I get that body line a little bit straighter, so it's getting sharp, get a little bit closer. And I'm comparing it to this side over here with the bumper cover off, trying to match it as close as I can. And I mean, I've been hammering and moving and bumping, trying to get the whole thing to line up. You can see right here that I thought the light was off, but it actually does come over just a hair, just like in this one. And I'm going to have to do a little more finagling to get this to line up exactly where I want it, but it's much, much, much closer than it was before. Now I've got some pretty good sized dents in here that I got to pull out, kind of look at, but it's starting to massage back much closer than it was before to see where it's at. So I'm still working on it. Okay, so I just wanted to make a side note about the porta power that I purchased. You can see that I've used it extensively in the trunk, and it's made a couple scratches and stuff. Who cares, because it's going to be covered by all the padding anyway. But I was able to push this all out fairly consistently with the porta power and the extension rods that come with it. And you tap and you bend and you smash and you dolly. And I'm getting really pretty close to where I want it to be as far as, you know, I've got a little bit more to do, but I'm at the point now of taking a grinder and grinding down this side. Okay, it stopped raining a little bit. It's still wet as crap. But you can see kind of where I've gotten a lot of it out. And I still want to work on this a little bit to get it as smooth as I can, but it is going to have filler over, so at some point you just go, what the heck. Use a puller here. I still got a low spot here, I feel, and it may be a little bit high in this area. So a lot of this is going to be determined on when I put filler in it, how it sands out. Now underneath here, I also realized that there's a lot of spots that aren't even going to be seen. Like right here is covered by that piece that goes across here, and the bumper comes across here. So some of this I'm not too awful concerned about if it comes out nice. Really just this quarter section am I concerned about. So all that to say is that it's hard to take a hammer and a dolly and dolly all this out and just film it all because it would be really boring. But here is my porta power, and you can see that I was using it there in that corner with the hammers and the dollies and stuff. And basically you just have to kind of eyeball it, take one side that's in good shape, right, this one, and then you just kind of compare it. You go back and forth and look at the other side if one side's in good shape, and hammer dolly, hammer dolly, hammer dolly, keep working it till it looks very similar to the other side and that you're not getting any binding. So I'm really happy at this point. But what I realized also is that it's starting to get winter here in early December, and I'm going to be hindered on how much I can do on it till it warms up a little bit. Now you might wonder why I'm not putting Bondo on it. Well, Bondo is not truly waterproof, so you never want to put Bondo on a car and let it sit outside, because then you'll develop rust on the back side of the Bondo, and then the whole thing could fall off like a big dang pancake. So don't ever do that. Put Bondo on and just let it get wet. It's, you know, I see that all the time. People Bondo stuff and then later go back and work on it, but that's not good. So all in all, as I look down the side of it, I'm really happy with the way it's coming out, but I still have some more work to do on it. And at the end of the day, this isn't a body shop, nor am I going to try to sell this. I'm not Ahmed Used Car Lot who's trying to sell you a car that, oh, great shape, it's in great shape, never been wrecked, and you know, the whole quarter panel's been smashed. So anyway, that's where I'm kind of at with this. We're still working on it. So that's pretty much the update on the rear quarter panel. I wish I could do a better video on it where it was a step-by-step process, but doing that kind of work, there's no step-by-step process except for general dolly it out, move it here, push here, you know, and eyeballing it. It's just one of those kind of things that you have to get a feel for. Unless you were coming over to, say, a body shop or here or something and actually doing it yourself. It's one of those things that you can't really teach on a video, but I can give you general ideas. And if you have any questions, man, be sure to just ask me. Be happy to answer those. But we're moving forward with the Toyota, weather permitting. David from the Redneck Garage, keep turning wrenches.